Stop scrolling, my child. I speak to you now with an urgent warning, but also with a love so deep it reaches into the very room where you are sitting right now. Do not ignore this. Do not let the endless distractions of this world, the ringing notifications, or the heavy thoughts in your mind pull your eyes away from what I am about to declare over your life. This is not an accident. This is not a random video that appeared on your screen by chance. I interrupted your day by divine appointment because there is a severe warning you must hear and a profound blessing you are on the verge of missing if you turn away. My beloved, listen to me carefully. I see the invisible weight you have been carrying upon your shoulders. I see the exhaustion that settles deep within your bones, the kind of tiredness that sleep cannot fix. You have been walking through a season of intense spiritual warfare, a season where the enemy has tried to whisper lies of defeat into your mind. He has tried to convince you that you are forgotten, that your prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling, and that the pain you are experiencing will be your permanent reality. But I am stepping in today to issue a holy warning. Do not believe the lies of the enemy. Do not surrender your hope when your breakthrough is standing right at your front door. I have watched you in your quietest moments. I have seen the tears you quickly wiped away before anyone else could notice. I have heard the silent cries of your heart when you lay in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if I am still with you. You have asked, Lord, why is this happening? Why is the road so hard? Why do I feel so alone in this battle? My precious child, I tell you with all the authority of heaven, you have never been alone, not for a single second. I have been standing beside you in the fire, holding your hand when you felt like collapsing. The enemy wants you to think that my silence is my absence. He wants you to interpret your current struggles as proof that I have abandoned you. That is his greatest trap. And I am warning you today, do not fall into it. If you scroll past this message, if you allow the enemy to distract you with the noise of your life, you might miss the very revelation that will set you free. The warning I bring is this: you are standing at the threshold of a massive transition, and the attacks against your mind are only increasing because the enemy is terrified of what you are about to step into. He knows that if you hold on just a little longer, your entire story is going to shift. That is why the discouragement feels so heavy right now. That is why the anxiety tries to choke your peace. I am commanding your attention right now to pull you out of that despair. I am shining my light into the dark corners of your mind to chase away the shadows of doubt. I am here now. Receive this truth and prepare your heart for what I am about to say next. My child, you must understand the nature of the season you have just walked through. You thought my silence meant I was angry with you, or that your mistakes had disqualified you from my grace. But I tell you now, silence was never absence. Silence was preparation. While you were looking for loud signs and earth-shattering miracles, I was doing a deep, quiet work within your spirit. I was removing the things, the habits, and even the people that could not go with you into this next chapter. The enemy tried to use this quiet season to plant seeds of bitterness in your heart. He wanted you to look at others who seemed to be receiving their blessings and feel envious, left behind and forgotten. But I warn you, do not compare your journey to anyone else's. What I am building in you requires a stronger foundation, because the weight of the blessing I am about to place upon your life is immense. This warning I bring today is to protect your mind. The enemy knows that if he can keep you distracted with past regrets or future anxieties, you will not have the faith to step through the door I am holding open right now. I am commanding you to drop the heavy baggage of what-ifs and why didn'ts. You have spent too much time mourning over doors that I deliberately closed for your protection. If you only knew what was waiting behind those closed doors, you would be thanking me for my refusal. I am shifting your perspective today. What felt like a frustrating delay was actually my divine protection. What felt like painful rejection was my holy redirection. You must stop looking back at what you have lost, or you will miss what I am actively restoring. Listen to my voice and let it drown out the noise of your insecurities. You are my beloved child, and I have not brought you through the fire just to leave you in the ashes. But you must stay alert. The days ahead will require your full, undivided focus. The enemy will try to send counterfeit blessings, things that look good but are not from me, just to pull you off the path of your true destiny. That is why this warning is so urgent. Do not rush. Do not let impatience or desperation drive your decisions in this season. Lean into my presence and seek my peace above all else. If you feel confused, wait. My peace will be your compass. I am preparing to restore everything that was stolen from you, but you must keep your eyes fixed entirely on me. Do not look to the left or to the right. Stand firm, keep listening, and let my words fortify your weary spirit for the magnificent breakthrough that is coming. I see how the enemy has tried to build a fortress of fear around your mind. He whispers that you are running out of time, that your best days are behind you, and that the mistakes you have made are unforgivable. He points to your current circumstances as proof that you have failed. But I am here to issue a divine warning. Do not accept his narrative over your life. He is the father of lies, and his only weapon against you is deception. He cannot stop the breakthrough I have ordained for you, so he tries to manipulate you into walking away from it yourself. Do not let fear dictate your future. Fear is not your portion. The anxiety that tightens your chest in the middle of the night is not from me. I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. When those fearful thoughts try to invade your peace, I command you to stand up and declare my promises over your life. My beloved, I want to restore your true identity today. The world has labeled you by your struggles, and sometimes you have labeled yourself by your past. But I do not see you the way the world sees you. You are not your failures. You are not the trauma you survived. You are not the rejection that broke your heart. You are my chosen vessel. You are deeply loved, held by grace, and marked for a divine purpose. I saw every tear you cried when people walked away and left you feeling worthless. I gathered every one of those tears. When they abandoned you, I drew closer. I wrapped my arms around your weary spirit. Even when your pain was so loud, you could not hear my comforting whispers. You survived because I never let go. I was the silent strength in your darkest moments. This warning is also a call to surrender. You cannot step into this new season carrying the heavy armor of bitterness. People have hurt you deeply, and the injustice of it has left a scar on your heart. But holding on to unforgiveness is a trap designed by the enemy to keep you stagnant. I am asking you to hand that pain over to me right now. Let me be your vindicator. Let me heal the wounds you have been trying to bandage on your own. The breakthrough that is coming is so pure and vast that it requires a heart free from the chains of the past. Trust me with your pain. Trust me with your justice. I am fighting unseen battles for you right now. Stay in my peace, let my love wash over you, and prepare yourself. The shift is already happening in the heavenly realm. My beloved, listen closely as I reveal what is happening in the spiritual realm right now. The reason the battles have felt so intense, the reason the exhaustion has been so overwhelming, is because you are standing directly on the border of your promised land. The enemy is not attacking you because you are weak. He is attacking you because he is terrified of the strength I have placed inside of you. He sees the doors that I am actively opening for you, doors that no man, no demon, and no past mistake can ever shut. He knows that a massive shift is coming to your life, and his only strategy left is to make you so tired, so discouraged, and so distracted that you walk away right before the miracle happens. That is the urgent warning I am issuing to your spirit today. Do not quit right before the finish line. Do not let temporary exhaustion rob you of an eternal blessing. I am calling you to a higher level of spiritual alertness. The distractions of this world are not just coincidences. They are calculated traps designed to pull your eyes away from my face. The sudden conflicts, the unexpected financial stress, the people who rise up to frustrate you. Recognize these for what they truly are. They are illusions meant to make you doubt my faithfulness. I command you to starve those distractions and feed your faith. When the anxiety tries to whisper that nothing is going to change, I want you to answer back with my promises. Remind the enemy that your God is a waymaker. Remind him that what I have spoken over your life cannot be reversed. You do not have to fight these battles in your own strength anymore. I am fighting for you. The heavenly hosts are fighting for you. A new season is about to begin, and it will not look like the seasons of your past. The waiting season was not a punishment, it was preparation. I was refining your character so that you could sustain the blessing I am about to release. What was delayed has not been denied. I am gathering the fragments of your broken dreams and breathing new life into them. The tears you sowed in sorrow are about to produce a harvest of unimaginable joy. But you must stay anchored in me. Do not let go of my hand when the winds blow. Trust that I am navigating you through this storm with absolute precision. Keep your heart open, keep your spirit tuned to my voice, and prepare yourself to step into the complete restoration you have been crying out for. My child, as you stand on the brink of this monumental breakthrough, I must issue a stern warning regarding the company you keep and the voices you allow into your spirit. Not everyone who walked with you in your season of waiting is meant to enter your season of harvest. The enemy will often use familiar faces, comfortable routines, and even nostalgic memories to anchor you to a past I have already freed you from. You must be willing to let go of the relationships that drain your faith, the conversations that breed doubt, and the environments that require you to shrink the majestic calling I have placed upon your life. Do not apologize for the boundaries I am asking you to build right now. This is not about pride. This is about absolute spiritual protection. The anointing on your life, the very purpose I have woven into your DNA, is far too precious to be spilled in places where it is neither recognized nor valued. I know it hurts to walk away from what is familiar, even when the familiar is deeply broken. I see the ache in your heart when you realize that some people only love the version of you that was struggling, because your brokenness made them feel comfortable and superior. But I am warning you with the fierce love of a father. Do not shrink back just to make others feel secure in their own stagnation. I am actively elevating you, and with divine elevation always comes a season of separation. You must trust that the isolation you feel right now is not a punishment, it is a holy incubator. I am purposefully pulling you aside so that I can speak to you without the constant interference of human opinions and worldly expectations. I am detoxing your spirit from the heavy poison of people-pleasing so that you can become completely dependent on my voice, my validation, and my unconditional love alone. Stay focused, my beloved, and do not let your heart waver. The enemy's greatest trick in this exact transition is to make you look back. He wants you to romanticize the very situations, habits, and relationships that almost destroyed you, simply because the unknown future feels intimidating. But I command you to keep your eyes facing forward. The temporary comfort of your past will never compare to the eternal glory of the promised land I am walking you into. The pain of letting go is fleeting, but the joy, the peace, and the massive breakthrough I have prepared for you will echo throughout your entire life. I am already positioning new people, destiny helpers, and genuine supporters on your path, but there must be empty space in your life for them to arrive. Clear the clutter, release the old attachments, let go of the heavy anchors, and prepare your open hands to hold the extraordinary, overflowing blessings I am releasing from heaven to you right now. My beloved, lean in even closer, for I am about to expose the hidden traps that the enemy has laid out along the path of your destiny. This is a critical warning, and you must not treat it lightly. The enemy knows he can no longer bind you to your past, because my grace has already broken those chains. So his new strategy is to clutter your present with overwhelming noise and endless anxiety. He wants to flood your life with minor emergencies, unnecessary drama, and chaotic circumstances to ensure that you are too exhausted and distracted to focus on the divine assignment I have given you. I am warning you today, stop engaging in battles that do not belong to your future. Every petty argument you get into, every offense you harbor, and every distraction you entertain is a calculated attempt to leak your spiritual energy. You are wasting precious faith on things that were meant to be left behind. Look at the patterns in your life over the last few weeks. Have you noticed how easily irritation rises? Have you felt the sudden, unexplainable waves of confusion trying to cloud your judgment? This is not random. It is spiritual opposition. The enemy is desperately trying to steal your peace, because he knows that your peace is the very ground upon which your breakthrough will grow. When you are anxious, you cannot hear my whisper. When you are frustrated, you cannot see the doors I am actively opening for you. I am commanding you right now to guard your heart with all diligence. Step back from the chaos. Close your ears to the critics, the mockers, and the doubters. They do not know the secret conversations we have had in the dark. They did not see the nights you cried when nobody else noticed, and they certainly cannot stop the favor I'm about to pour out over your life. I am shifting your posture today from warfare to worship. You have spent so long defending yourself, trying to justify your actions, and trying to prove your worth to people who were never committed to understanding you. I am telling you today, lay down your weapons of self-defense. Let me be your vindicator, your shield, and your fortress. Your victory in this season will not come through striving, plotting, or working yourself into deep, emotional exhaustion. Your victory will come through your stillness, your obedience, and your absolute trust in my word. The enemy trembles when he sees you worshipping in the middle of a storm, because it proves his lies have lost their power over you. Stand firm, keep your eyes locked onto my presence, and prepare yourself. The atmosphere is changing, the heavy clouds are parting, and a brilliant new dawn of supernatural restoration is breaking over your horizon right now. Look at yourself closely, my child, and recognize what this heavy season has done to your spirit and your body. You look at the lines of fatigue that have deepened under your eyes, the constant stiffness in your posture, and the way your breathing has become shallow and heavy when you face the challenges of your day. You think these are merely the physical tolls of aging, of stress, or of hard work, but I tell you, they are the visible maps of an invisible spiritual siege. Your body is trying to speak the words that your lips have been too exhausted to form. It is crying out because your inner well has been running dangerously dry, exhausted from your attempts to sustain yourself on the fading, shallow waters of human strength. I am issuing a critical warning to your spirit right now. Stop trying to force open doors using your own fleshly effort, your own endless planning, and your own frantic striving. When you operate out of desperation and chronic worry, You are acting as if you have no father in heaven. You are behaving like an orphan who has to fight, scrape, and beg for every ounce of survival. But hear me clearly, you are not an orphan. You are a deeply cherished child of the Most High God, and your divine inheritance is not something that can be bought with human sweat, manipulation, or sleepless nights of anxiety. I know the exact moments when you felt that sudden, terrifying tightness in your chest, when your heart began to race with unexplainable dread about your future, your health, and your family. The enemy wants to lock you into a perpetual state of survival mode so that you remain too blinded by fear to ever access the thriving, abundant life I have uniquely designed for you. He wants your mind so thoroughly consumed with bills, with broken health, and with the fractured fragments of past disappointments that you completely forget who holds the keys to the entire universe. I am breaking that heavy survival mindset off your life today. I am ordering a divine halt to the frantic rushing of your soul. Take a deep breath right now in my immediate presence and feel the phantom weight beginning to lift from your shoulders. I am pouring fresh, supernatural oil over your head to soothe the painful friction of this exhausting race you were never meant to run alone. The pressure is no longer on you to perform, to fix what is broken, or to rescue everyone around you. Your only assignment in this holy, designated hour is to remain right here, to listen deeply to the rhythmic cadence of my voice, and to receive the restorative rest that recharges your empty vessel. Do not turn away, and do not let your thoughts wander back to your earthly problems, for the divine truth I am about to unlock carries an even greater weight for your destiny. My child, look at how you are holding yourself right now. I see the invisible tension that locks your jaw in the quiet hours of the night. I see how your hands instinctively clench into fists when you think about the uncertainties of tomorrow, as if you are physically bracing yourself for another blow. You have spent years operating under the false belief that if you do not hold everything together with your own two hands, your entire world will collapse into chaos. This is a profound warning I must bring to your spirit today. Your desperate attempt to maintain absolute control is the very chain that is keeping you bound in this desert. You are trying to use limited human logic to solve a majestic spiritual puzzle. You spend countless hours analyzing your circumstances, your bank accounts, your failing health, and your past disappointments, trying to calculate exactly how and when things will turn around. But I tell you, my ways are infinitely higher than your ways. Stop trying to figure out with your human intellect what can only be birthed through absolute spiritual surrender. The urgent warning in this exact hour is against the paralyzing spirit of hesitation. The enemy has realized he can no longer make you completely abandon your faith, so he has subtly shifted his tactic to a much more dangerous weapon: overthinking. He whispers into your thoughts, wait until you have more money. Wait until you feel more qualified, or wait until the circumstances are perfectly aligned. But hear me clearly, perfection is an illusion created by fear, and delayed obedience is still a form of disobedience. When I whisper a prompt into the depths of your heart to move, to speak, to forgive, or to completely let go of a toxic situation, I need you to move instantly. The door I am opening before you requires radical, immediate courage. If you sit at the edge of the pool, constantly waiting for the waters of your life to become perfectly calm before you dare to jump, you will completely miss the divine momentum of this specific season. The enemy uses your endless overthinking as a psychological cage to keep you running in circles of anxiety, wasting the precious oil of your anointing on hypothetical scenarios that will never happen. Break out of that mental cage today. Look at your life through the lens of my eternal promises. not through the heavy limitations of your current resources. You have been saying in the dark, "Lord, when you show me the full blueprint, then I will take the first step." But that is not faith, that is sight. I am calling you to step out into the deep waters, even when you cannot see the bottom, trusting that my hand is already underneath you. The tightness in your chest and the relentless racing of your thoughts are the physical manifestations of your refusal to truly trust me. I am demanding that you open your hands right now. Release the fierce grip you have on your problems. Let down your guard in my presence. I am your protector, your provider, and your ultimate deliverer. When you finally stop striving and start resting in my sovereignty, you allow the supernatural flow of heaven to flood your life. Do not let another moment pass in hesitation. Listen to the deep rhythm of my voice. Cast your cares completely upon me and prepare your heart for the miraculous shift that is about to manifest. My child, look at how long you have been counting the years, the months, and the days of this exhausting delay. You have become a master at tracking your losses, keeping a meticulous record of every door that closed in your face, every relationship that fell apart, and every promise that seemed to expire without fulfillment. I am issuing a crucial warning to your spirit in this very moment. Stop measuring my eternal faithfulness by the temporary layout of your current reality. The enemy's primary objective right now is to trap you in spiritual blindness, making you rely entirely on what your physical eyes can see. He points to your static bank account, your aching body, and your quiet phone whispering, "See, nothing is changing. Your faith has failed you." But I tell you today, the natural realm is a lying mirror. Underneath the dry ground of your current circumstances, the deep roots of your supernatural breakthrough are already bursting with life. The urgent warning for this specific hour is about the words you allow to pass through your lips. You have been praying for a breakthrough with your heart, but you have been speaking defeat with your mouth. You cry out for healing, but then you confess sickness. You pray for abundance, but then you spend your days complaining about lack, declaring how you will never get ahead. I warn you with the fierce authority of heaven. Stop speaking death over the very things I am actively breathing life into. Your words carry creative weight in the spiritual realm. When you repeat the negative reports of this world, you are signing your agreement with the enemy's blueprint for your life. I am commanding a holy sanctification of your speech today. Silence the complaints. Stop validating the scarcity. Start speaking about the harvest before you even see a single blade of grass pierce the dirt. You have walked through the fire and you have survived the worst of the storms, but the enemy is trying to make you faint in this final hour of preparation because he knows the scales are tipping in your favor. He remembers the nights you stayed on your knees when your heart was shattered, and he knows that those tear-soaked prayers have accumulated before my throne, creating an unstoppable momentum of divine justice. I am fighting the hidden battles that you know nothing about. While you sleep, my angels are dismantling the systemic blockages that have held your family back for generations. Your lineage of lack, of trauma, and of chronic sickness stops with you. I have marked you as the generational curse breaker of your bloodline. Stand tall, roll back your shoulders, and breathe in the absolute security of my presence. Keep your eyes locked onto my face, protect the holy borders of your mind, and listen intently, for the next shift is about to manifest. My beloved, listen to the weight of my voice in this exact moment, for we have reached a critical juncture. This is the 10th hour, a season of divine order, and I am issuing a sharp warning to your soul. Do not allow complacency to settle into your heart just because the storm has begun to quiet down. The enemy knows he can no longer overwhelm you with open affliction, so his new tactic is to lull you into a spiritual slumber. He wants you to become comfortable with stagnation, to look at your life and say, "This is good enough," settling for a mere fraction of the overflowing inheritance I have prepared for you. Do not settle for survival when I have called you to absolute dominion. The subtle compromises you have been making lately, treating our daily communion as a routine rather than a passionate pursuit, this is a calculated trap designed to freeze you right outside the gates of your promised land. I see the subtle signs of weariness that still linger within your body. I know how your joints ache under the pressure of stress, and how a heavy sigh escapes your lips when you think no one is watching. You interpret this physical heaviness as a sign that you are failing to heal, but it is actually the cracking of the old, rigid wineskin. Your physical body is reacting to the intense, supernatural stretching of your spiritual capacity. I am expanding your territory, and that expansion requires the breaking down of old comfort zones. The tight pressure you feel in your shoulders is the final residue of the heavy generational burdens you carried for decades. I am actively dissolving that residue right now, but you must cooperate with my spirit and cast off these old garments of heaviness. The urgent warning for this hour is to guard your mind against the spirit of nostalgia. The enemy will try to bring back people and toxic situations from your past, wrapping them in a beautiful package of false closure. He wants you to look backward and wonder if you made a mistake by walking away from what was comfortable. But hear me clearly, Egypt will never offer you the blessings of Canaan. Do not return to the environments that required you to bleed just to be accepted. Do not reopen conversations with people whom I deliberately distanced you from to save your life. I have shut those doors permanently because the new anointing upon your life cannot mix with the old patterns. Stand perfectly still in my presence. Keep your gaze locked onto my eyes and listen with absolute reverence, for the shift is manifesting right now. My child, notice the sudden, anxious flutter in your chest when you think about the magnitude of what I am about to release into your life. There is a subtle, insidious whisper trying to infiltrate your quiet moments right now, a shadow of doubt that says, "This is too good to be true," or "You have suffered for so long that a life of pure peace and abundance is impossible for someone like you." I am issuing a profound, urgent warning to your spirit today. Do not allow the spirit of intimidation to shrink the size of your vessel. The enemy has realized he can no longer stop the harvest from coming, so his final strategy is to make you feel too unworthy, too damaged, and too broken to actually receive it. He wants you to live in a perpetual state of emotional bracing, constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, unable to accept the immense joy that I am pouring out. I see how you look at the scars of your past, the memory of financial lack that forced you to live in survival mode, or the devastating betrayals that left your trust shattered. You look at those old wounds and let them define your capacity for future happiness. But I tell you today, I do not bless you based on your perfection, nor do I measure my generosity by what you think you deserve. I bless you because of my sovereign love and my eternal covenant with you. I am transforming your very countenance today. I am wiping away the hidden shame, the quiet feelings of inadequacy, and the deep-seated fear that your blessing will somehow be snatched away at the last second. You are not defined by what you survived. You are defined by my love. The urgent warning for this specific hour is to expand your expectations. Stop praying small, safe prayers out of a fear of being disappointed again. When you pray with a hesitant heart, as if you are begging for crumbs, you insult the infinite wealth of your Father's kingdom. I am not a God of scarcity. I am the God of the overflow. The breakthrough heading toward you is so vast that it will require a complete renovation of your belief system. It will demand that you boldly step into rooms you once felt unqualified to enter. Do not shrink back into the shadows of your old identity. Stand tall, loosen the anxious grip on your heart, open your arms wide, and listen with absolute focus, for the next shift is manifesting right now. My child, look at how your sleep patterns have been disrupted lately. I know the exact hours when you suddenly awaken in the dead of night, usually between 2 and 4 in the morning, with your heart racing and a strange, heavy urgency pressing against your chest. You look at the clock, you toss and turn, and you allow your mind to wander into the dark corridors of your financial worries, your family's struggles, or the ticking clock of your own physical health. You think these midnight awakenings are merely the symptoms of insomnia, of age, or of stress. But I am issuing a deep, supernatural warning to your spirit right now. Those hours are not empty, and those awakenings are not accidental. I am the one pulling the veil of slumber from your eyes. I am calling you into the secret place, because the spiritual climate around your life is shifting so rapidly that your soul cannot afford to remain asleep. The urgent warning in this 12th hour is against the deceptive trap of holy impatience. You have waited for so long, and because you can feel the atmosphere thinning, because you can sense that the breakthrough is incredibly close, you are tempted to take matters into your own hands. You want to force a resolution. You want to make a premature move just to relieve the agonizing tension of the unknown. But hear me clearly. When you rush ahead of my timing, you build an Ishmael instead of waiting for the Isaac I have promised. You create a counterfeit solution that will ultimately require your human strength to sustain. I do not want you to survive on a humanly manufactured blessing. I want you to thrive on a divinely orchestrated inheritance. The enemy knows that if he can provoke you into moving too early, you will step out from under the direct canopy of my perfect protection and alignment. Stop looking at your current delays as a sign of my disapproval. The delay is not a denial, it is a profound structural alignment. I am setting the stage behind the scenes so that when the door finally swings open, the blessing will not crush you, and the critics will not be able to steal your joy. Your enemies will be forced to sit and watch as I prepare a massive table of honor for you in their plain sight. I am breaking the systemic spirit of lack, of sickness, and of disappointment that has haunted your family name for centuries. Roll back your shoulders, lift your chin, and let the supernatural peace of my presence fortify your mind. Keep your eyes locked onto mine. Stay perfectly still in this holy space and listen to the divine instructions I am depositing into your spirit, for the ultimate shift is already unfolding. My child, look at the expression on your face when you are left entirely alone with your thoughts. I see the subtle downturn of your mouth, the slight furrow of your brow, and the quiet, heavy sadness that clouds your eyes when you think no one is watching. You try so hard to project a mask of absolute strength, confidence, and unshakable faith to the outside world, to your family, and to your peers. But when the doors are closed and the noise fades, you collapse under the suffocating weight of an exhausting question. How much longer must I endure this before something finally breaks? I am issuing a monumental warning to your spirit in this 13th hour. Do not let the spirit of mockery make you feel foolish for holding on to my promises. The enemy is actively mobilizing voices of doubt, skepticism, and cynicism around you, sometimes even through well-meaning friends or close family members, to whisper that your radical expectations are unrealistic and that you are wasting your life waiting on a miracle that will never manifest. The urgent warning right now is to guard your spiritual ears against these dream killers. When I place a majestic supernatural vision inside your heart, it is not meant for public consumption or human approval. It was given to you and you alone. If you try to explain the deep, mysterious things I am doing in your life, To people who operate entirely out of carnal logic and worldly limitations, they will always try to talk you down to their level of comfortable mediocrity. The enemy uses their shallow opinions as a psychological weapon to slowly drain your conviction, making you question the clear, undeniable instructions I have whispered to you in the secret place. Stop seeking validation from people who were never assigned to your future. I am your only true source, your only validator, and your ultimate vindicator. I see the profound fatigue of the final stretch trying to overwhelm your soul. This is the exact moment where the temptation to compromise, to settle for less, or to faint is at its absolute highest. But hear me clearly. The darkness is always the most intense, right before the sun pierces the horizon. The very fact that the opposition has intensified is the ultimate proof that the enemy has run out of options and knows his time to block you is finished. I am preparing a divine reversal that will leave your mockers utterly speechless. I am turning your seasons of public isolation and humiliation into a monument of my supernatural favor. Roll back your shoulders, unburden your heart, and stand tall in the absolute certainty of my covenant. Keep your gaze locked into mine, protect the holy perimeter of your mind, and listen with deep reverence, for the ultimate breakthrough is breaking forth right now. My child, look closely at your hands right now. Notice how the persistent tightness in your knuckles is finally beginning to ease, and how the invisible weight that has kept your head bowed for so long is losing its legal right over your life. You have spent an entire season walking with the spirit of heaviness, wearing it like an unwanted, suffocating garment that silenced your praise and choked the life out of your prayers. But I am issuing an ultimate, sovereign warning to your soul in this 14th hour. Do not permit the ghost of your past trauma to dictate the terms of your future freedom. The enemy knows that his legal authority to oppress you has completely expired. The courtrooms of heaven have already signed the decree to trade your mourning for dancing, yet the adversary is desperately trying to use the mere echo of your old pain to make you retreat into the shadows of your former cage. Do not react to the echo. The chains are already broken. Any noise you hear right now is just the sound of them hitting the floor. The urgent warning in this exact moment is against the dangerous illusion of a spiritual drought. The enemy will look at your dry, unchanging surroundings and whisper into your mind, "Look around you, nothing has physically shifted yet. You are still sitting in the same room, facing the same outstanding bills and dealing with the same aching body." But I tell you today, the natural realm is always the slowest to catch up to the divine decrees of heaven. When I speak a word of breakthrough over your life, it is instantly established and finalized in the spiritual atmosphere. Right now, the clouds above your head are heavy with the rain of my supernatural favor, and the dry ground beneath your feet is already vibrating with the arrival of an overwhelming harvest. Stop looking for human confirmation. If you wait for the world to tell you that you are blessed before you dare to act like it, you are letting the enemy rob you of your divine authority. You are standing precisely at the threshold of the most significant, life-altering breakthrough of your entire generation. Everything you have suffered, every single tear that soaked your pillow in the dead of night, and every moment you felt completely invisible to those around you, was a precise investment into the depth of your current anointing. I am restoring the years that the locusts have eaten. I am opening massive reservoirs of peace, divine health, and financial overflow that will leave your family lineage fundamentally altered. I am commanding a holy boldness to rise up within your chest right now. Roll back your shoulders, lift your eyes to the heavens, and let out a deep breath of absolute victory. Keep your gaze locked entirely into mine, protect the holy border of your mind with unshakable faith, and listen with extreme urgency, for the final seal is about to be broken. My child, we have arrived at the final threshold of this divine encounter. Look at the horizon of your life right now. The heavy dark clouds that once choked your vision have completely broken apart, and the first brilliant rays of my supernatural dawn are piercing through the remnants of your longest night. I am issuing the final sovereign warning to your soul as we seal this sacred moment together. Do not, under any circumstances, allow yourself to slip back into the old ways of thinking, speaking, or living. This 15-hour journey was not designed to give you a temporary emotional lift or a fleeting moment of inspiration. It was an intentional, deep-rooted spiritual alignment meant to fundamentally alter the trajectory of your destiny and permanently sever the generational chains of lack, fear, and sickness that have pursued your family bloodline for decades. The urgent warning as you step away from this message is to protect the sacred soil of your heart with absolute vigilance. The enemy is furious because he knows he has lost his grip on your mind, and he will desperately try to send sudden distractions, old temptations, or familiar voices of doubt to steal the holy seed that has been planted in your spirit today. I command you to walk with the posture of a conqueror. When the old anxieties try to whisper their familiar lies, look them directly in the face and declare that your case has already been settled in the highest courts of heaven. You are no longer a victim of your past. You are the designated heir of my overflowing blessings. Hear my final declaration over your life, my beloved child. What was once closed is now swinging wide open. What was stolen from you during your years of silent weeping is being restored to you 100-fold. Your season of waiting is officially over, and your season of absolute authority, unshakable peace, and supernatural favor has begun. I am proud of your endurance. I am proud of your radical faith that refused to quit when everything around you told you to lie down and surrender. You are held safely in the palm of my hand, and no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. Take one last deep breath in my immediate presence. Lift your hands in total praise and let out a shout of victory. Comment Amen if you are standing firm in your destiny, and share this final word to release my light into the world. I am with you always, even until the end of the age. Go forth in my power, for your breakthrough is completely finalized.